Hi, Jim here. I think I figured some things out. Yeah, running around frantic. I don't know what's going on. What is happening? So, when I left these uh, bees alone, pretty much after I combined the hive, uh, the two hives, uh, I left them with about 100 pounds, maybe a little bit more of honey. I only took equivalent to maybe 2 quarts, if that. I don't even think that much. Maybe that. Okay, so I've got my butterfly catcher. So they're being really aggressive today. And the reason why, it happened not too long after I did what I just did. Um, I came to the conclusion the reason why I'm seeing so many bees, or saw so many bees in my garage a few days back. Been about a week now, almost. Today's the 17th of January 2026. Please subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell, click the like. And so the reason why is, I think, because they ran low on honey. So my hive went through most of that honey, if not all of it. Even though they were bringing in lots of pollen, that's not honey. They need the glucose, they need the sucrose, they need the fructose, which is what's in a flower. They need that. The pollen's only 50% of the equation. Right? I wanted to check on the front. I was sitting here for a few minutes seeing how things are going. I went to check on the one in the hive. I was probably up there about 3 minutes, if that. Came back here and sat down, and 2 bees went in my face immediately and buzzed me. So I did the wackadoo, whack, whack. One went down about 2 inches. She didn't hit the ground, but she got close, about 2 inches from the ground before she gathered herself and flew away. And then the other one, I don't know, was more like a golf ball. 4, I don't know, I didn't see where that one went. Kind of like that. So I went and grabbed my butterfly catcher, because then I had some buzzing around my neck. So I got this like this, and I just kind of go around when they're buzzing me. I just kind of go like that. Freaks them out. So those other 2 girls, they flew away. This guy is mean. He's meaner than I am. They never came back to buzz me. But this one, now, so about 10 minutes after I did what I did, I'm going to show you what I did. It only took about 10 minutes before I started noticing aggressiveness. Before that, none. None. 0. So what I did is I went and thawed out some sugar syrup, 1-to-1, that I made last year, and they just didn't need it, so I froze it, warmed it up in a pan, brought it up to about 115 degrees, let it cool down to about 110, and I did this. All right, so I got that sugar syrup there. See if I can get this tripod to open up a little bit. So I got that sugar syrup there, and then they started becoming aggressive after that. Like, we have so much food now to protect. So they are really aggressive now since I put that sugar syrup in there. So I put that sugar syrup, and about 2 minutes later, I noticed it bubbling. You can see it bubbling there. About 2 minutes later, it started bubbling. That means they probably found it a minute earlier than that. And we're sucking it down at 110 degrees. So they've already drinking about probably a quarter of it just in the last 15 minutes. So I'm thinking that they were low on food. They were low on sugar, honey. And so what I did was I'm gonna keep this net here, because when I go like this and they're buzzing around my neck and stuff, I go like this, that freaks them out, even with my hands. So if some come up and start buzzing my hand, when I do this, it's like almost a brick wall. Before they knew, they seen my face and they wanted that. They understand facial recognition, right? They got that. And all of a sudden they see a brick wall. They're going, I don't know how to deal with a brick wall, right? And many times they'll just get confused and fly away when I do my hand thing. This is a moving wall. That thing might crush me. Who knows? So they've been really aggressive since I put that, about 10 minutes after I put that sugar syrup in there. So now I have my, what do they call that? Shields. Shields up, Scotty. This is like my shield. I can just go around. They see that object, big old thing coming at them. And they literally go away. That one a few minutes ago before I put this camera up, buzzing around my neck. So I did like that. She was gone in a few seconds. Yeah, they don't like moving objects coming to them that they don't understand. They can't recognize it as anything. They don't understand what it is. And so many times they'll go away in fear. I don't know how to deal with this object. It is not recognizable. It might eat me before I get a chance to sting that dude that I was going to sting. So, yeah, this seems to be really effective so far. And so if I'm out here doing something, and it's usually only one girl, just one girl has it out for me. Maybe it's my big schnoz. Maybe it's, well, sometimes my ears are covered up, so it's not big ears. So one girl gets it out for me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to capture that girl, leave her in here until I'm done doing what I'm doing, then I'll let her out. Then I'll walk away. So yeah, this seems to be really effective. I have not been stung since, I think it was the middle of spring last year. No stings. Right? When you get stung a couple dozen times, well, some of us, we can just sense those girls coming in. Even from behind, I can just feel them. My hair's, I don't have any hair. I keep those shapes, so I can just feel them coming. And so, yeah, my sensory perceptions are high when I'm around these girls. Yeah, 12 times. The second to the last sting, I went into almost full anaphylactic shock. And I had tightness in the chest, shortness of breathing. Felt like my nerves were on fire. So I gave it about 2.5 hours before I said, okay, I'm gonna go check in the emergency room. So I drove to the emergency room, checked in there, and I was, they did some checks. He's not dying at the moment. Well, see, they were on like triage. There was like 60 people in that emergency room. They had like a triage going on. And last year. And so I sat there for about 3 hours until I thought, I feel normal now, I'm going home. So I went and checked out, and she goes, I can't stop you. I goes, yeah, I know. And so I got stung about 2 weeks later again in my fingers, between my pinky and my ring finger here. And almost immediately I felt that inflammation again, just like fireworks going off. And I sit down, I go, okay. And I isolated where I was feeling that intensity, like fireworks kind of thing. And I said, you calm down now. Just relax. It's okay. It's not as bad as you think. Just relax. So I just kind of went in the om kind of mode, and I focused on all those areas that were exploding. I focused on like bringing it in like this, bringing it down, 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 and I just kept focusing on it like that. And about 2 minutes later, maybe 5, 2 to 5, I was fine. I went back to work. Everything was fine. Mind over matter. Yeah, they're just buzzing by me. And so here's what I think's happened. Let me finish the story on something else here. There's some girls over there. So what I did is I finished up all my nuke bait and all my nuke boxes, baited nuke boxes. I put a little piece of honeycomb on the outside, maybe little resources in it. I put one on right on the insides of the entryways of all the hives, and I put some little Q-tips of lemongrass oil in front of each entryway, including the one in the cherry tree. In fact, I got two out front now, and so yeah, they're well baited. Even my little styrofoams have honeycomb on the inside, old honeycomb with a little bit of honey in it, maybe, and resources, right, and on the outside. So they're just over there investigating them, and I put all the entryways properly and sealed them all up really good. Yeah, there's two of them going on that one. Okay, so here's what I think happened. They ran low on resources. My girls ran low. 100 pounds wasn't enough because they've been busy since fall. So October-ish, September, October, they've been busy in and out, and they used up all that honey, and so they were running low. They were bringing in plenty of pollen. This guy's feeding them pollen, but they need that glucose, sucrose, and fructose, which is the same thing as in a flower. They need that or they'll die. Go away. Go. No. I want to hear investigating me. And so they're out looking for nectar or anything that resembles that, right? Fructose, glucose. Most of what's in a flower, or at least table sugar, is mostly glucose. And the next one is fructose, which is very close to glucose. And then the other one is sucrose. Sucrose is only like 1 or 2% of what's in a flower. The rest is glucose, fructose, and and so yeah, they got really aggressive after I put that sugar syrup in there. They had more energy to be aggressive, I guess. And so these girls that were out doing all these things and that filled my garage is because this hive was low on honey. They were desperate to find more sugar. And so that's what that was. They weren't trying to do a split. I thought my bees had lost their mind. What are you trying to do? Splits in January, right? No, they're just being resourceful. And so there's not going to be any splits. No. But the behavior is identical. The marauding, the scouting, and all that was behavior right 3 days right before I caught this swarm. That's over here. Identical. There's no way to tell. Excuse me. Can you tell me, what are you doing? Are you actually going to swarm out, or are you looking for some food? No. No. So you got to go with our instincts, and because I'm already aware of canolas. I've been aware of canolas for years, that they can actually split early. They're the early splitters, and they'll swarm out early. So not knowing exactly, without doing a few interviews, can we sit down? Tell me what's on your mind, B. And yeah, so they were just looking for resources, and that's good. But what's really cool, I actually got everything all set up, and now I also know what I need to do, the little intricacies of things. We go, oh man, I didn't have that built and ready. Oh my gosh, I didn't have that. I should have had that ready by now. Well, now I know exactly what I need to get ready, and yeah, I'm prepped. So I'll be getting all that. So all this stuff over here, that's all those nukes there. Those are going to go back in the garage. All 8 of them. And same thing with probably this one. I might leave this one here, just maybe seal it, open it up now and then. But I think they're all going to eventually go back. Once there's plenty of resources, I'm going to feed them that every day. I gave that to them at 110 degrees. And I warmed it to 115. By the time I got it out, it was 110. And that thing's been bubbling ever since. They've been sucking that stuff down. And so once once they feel confident they got enough resources, because I'm going to feed them hot food every day. I like my food about 110 too, right? So I'm going to feed them about 110 every day, and I suspect that all these girls, including the ones in the front, are going to come back to this hive. All of them. That's my instinct. Once they start building up enough honey in there from what I'm feeding them, I think they're all going to come back, and then they'll prep maybe in 1st of March for a division, a swarm out. That's a relief. It's a relief to understand what's going on, right? Now, but at the same time, now that I'm feeding them syrup, they may say, gosh, we have so many homes to choose from. Let's get a head start this year. Make 5, 6, 7, 8 queen cells and do a bunch of splits on their own into these boxes that they've already located, they've already went in, they've already cleaned the comb, they've already prepped it, for a division to receive a queen. I'm ready, man. Last year, I was going, what's going on? Well, why? These marauders around my hive, I don't like them around my, then I had that epiphany. Maybe it's not a marauder. Maybe they're looking for a home. So last year I went and sit out, I don't know, 7 nukes, something like that, baited nukes. And they were in every one of them that day. Every one of them. And 3 days later, I had that hive. 3 days later. That's the only hive I got right now. But they're going to go into division. And my goal was from the beginning when I first decided I want to have a beehive, I wanted organic bees. I didn't want some farm bees. I already knew that wasn't a good option. I've just heard about so many of those farm bees carrying so many diseases. Every farm bees package I got, they were heavily infested already with disease and varroa mites. And they kept it. Yeah. And these girls here, they are so good at bringing that varroa mite destructor count to 0 and eliminating disease. If there's something in a cell, they take that out, and they take that diseased bee and the varroa mites and fly away with them and drop them. Right? So at this point, this hive here is not showing any signs of disease. About a month ago is when I noticed the last bee that had wing deformed virus. That's deadly. So it's been about a month since I've seen any diseased bees on the ground. That's really good. The other farm bees, I never did get rid of that disease, ever. Out of 4 hives that I bought, I bought 2 and then split and ended up with 4. But out of those 4, they always had deformed wing virus. It would spike and then come really low, but they always had it. Right now, this hive, that's an organic one, they have 0. There's some natural death, exhaustion. A couple here, a few here every day. That's normal, perfectly normal. They get old and they die. And there's no sign of any disease. Cool, man. And that's what I wanted from the very beginning. Farm bees, I never wanted them. I just knew that wasn't a good idea. But here we go. I got my organic bees, kind of from nature. They know how to manage that hive really well. They have good instincts, natural organic instincts to take care of that hive, including all the diseases, infections, and varroa mites. And so, and they're being aggressive. We finally got some food. We're gonna hang around now. We're gonna stay right here. Got plenty of resources now. Yeah, so I anticipate all those looky-loos. I anticipate that's going to go away, and wherever they are, whatever boxes they might be occupying right now, even not on my property, they may come back. and they'll be even healthier and make bigger splits and all that. Yeah. That's like a relief. I did not want to deal with splits at this time of year. Like I said, I'm all ready. Okay, I just thought I'd update you what I came to. What I feel is some better clarity what was going on, because I made like 6 podcasts. I don't know. Do you know? Right? But now I think I know. Just by observation. Yeah. So I anticipate all those bees that were in that box in the front coming back here. Okay, good. Then I'll be able to start fresh, like 1st of March, and then do the splits correctly. There's drones out, then the queens will come out. The drones, they hatch about 26 days, so they come out about 29. They usually take a few days to dry their wings out and gain some strength. They'll come out. I watch them come out, and they'll flap, and walk around. They go back in, and so I anticipate from the time that the drones are laid, about 30 days later, they'll start coming out. And the queens, they hatch out in half that time. So the drones come out from the time laid, coming out about 30 days, and then flying away. The queens, 14 to 15 days, and off they go. Yeah. 14, 15 days, the queens fly away. So, and they may wait. The hives around here, including mine, may wait until they may wait until the skies start to fill up a little bit with drones before they even start laying queens. You never know. They may go with the queens first, get them out there, then let the drones come. A lot of times what the drones will do when they get out there, they'll go out into the wild and they'll cluster together and shoot out their pheromones waiting for a queen to come along. And when a queen comes along, he puts his, in there, and he doesn't get it back. She keeps it forever. Well, forever for him. And then it'll keep pumping. So instead of a stinger for a male drone, that's their penis. And so when he inserts his penis, she'll grab that and she'll squeeze, and he feels pain and he jerks away, and that sperm sac comes out of him. And she holds on to that until it's done pumping all the sperm in. And then she goes, next. This boy would fly away. No, I know you. You're the Black Widow queen. Those poor guys, man, they ain't got a chance. They're there for one thing only, man. Go out there and lose a penis. That's it. No time for socializing. She just goes, come here, boy. Give me that thing right now. And then he drops to the ground. That's it, man. Nature can be so cruel, right? Gosh, darn it. Girls don't even take you out for a dance or nothing. That is the dance, and it's the last dance. Those guys save the last dance for her. Nature. I'm glad I'm not a male bee. I never would have learned how to dance. We would have been a short one. So, yeah, they almost got a quarter of that sugar syrup down now. It only took 2 minutes to notice bubbling. So every time they put their asphyxis in there, that equivalent to a little straw, and they suck some out. Well, the pressure differential draws in that air from those other holes underneath, and it equalizes the pressure in the jar. And they just keep doing that until the jar's empty. There you go. That's my day. I'm so happy I know what's going on. I mean, I feel like this twilight zone. This no. So, okay, now I'm feeding them. Now last year, something similar happened on my farmer bees. So I ended up feeding them lots, what's called mountain feed them. I didn't feed them in a jar. I took a bunch of sugar and put it on top of this, what's called a divider board on the top. And sprayed it with some water, put some more sugar, sprayed it with water. And they ate it all up. I filled that whole board, I did it to the whole board on top. The board was about that, the depth that was like that, and I'd fill it right to the top. Get it all wet until it starts to look liquidy. And they'd come in and feed on it until it was all gone. And there you go. And that's my day. Please subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell, click the like. It's free, it just takes a moment of your time, and you're done. All right. I think that's all I was going to say. Things are going to be getting back to normal. And I'll be talking more about swarms come March. I don't think I'll be talking about swarming anymore, thank goodness. That would have been a nightmare if they had been splitting this time of year in winter, middle of coldest month of the year. All right, bye now. Keep these girls out of my face. Oh my gosh.